Alright, we're going to show you how to replace your switch flag in the bottom of your sharpening unit. First, let's unlock our lever. Use an Allen wrench to loosen the set screw.
What size Allen wrench?
3/16. Remove your pivot lever and unscrew this long bolt until you feel that it's loose. Lift your sharpening unit off the docking plate and then take the nut and screw it back over the top of the screw to keep it from moving around and damaging and getting locked up on your sharpening tube. At this point, when you look through the bottom, you can see the switch flag that we're going to replace right here. So we're going to use our 5/32 Allen wrench, and we're going to remove the little flathead bolt out of the bottom of it.
All these bolts are metric, but we're using English just because that's what most shops have.
Okay, we'll remove the flathead bolt. We'll remove the washer. And we're just going to reach in and we're going to pull the flag out. Once you get a hold of it. Set that off to the side. And note the orientation that this comes out of. It has more of a flat and a radius here. You'll want the radius and the shape of that to be the same way as you brought it out. It's very similar shaped.
Bring it up to the camera here. So yeah, there we go.
Very similarly shaped, so we're going to put that right back into the same orientation. Just line that up over the shaft. We'll press that down to make sure it's bottomed out. We're going to place our washer back over it. Notice one side is countersunk, the other side is countersunk. Countersunk side will go up. We'll place that.
Go.
Okay, now that we have the flag and the washer in, before we insert the screw, let's put a small dab of blue Loctite on the threads. We're going to thread that into the bottom of the shaft. Now it's very important that we tighten this screw up to the point where we have no slop side to side in any direction. So if you can feel the sharpening port moving independently of the casting side to side, then we need to tighten that up a little bit more. This one doesn't have any, but we also need to make sure that when you rotate this around that it will come back to the stop over here on the casting by itself. So we want it to move very freely, very smoothly. Okay? And if you need to make another adjustment, either come back in, tighten it up a little bit more, or just barely loosen it up, but make them very small adjustments to it. Once we get rid of any side-to-side slop and we rotate smoothly and it rebounds on its own, we're good to go. So at this point, we're going to remove our nut off the bottom of this again, lay it on the table. On the back side of the docking plate is a big slot. So we want to lay that over the top of the nut, push it to the side so the nut is over on one end, all the way over to the end, and then we're going to line up the slots on the bottom of the casting with the ribs on the docking plate. We're going to place that right over the top of it, and if you push your casting all the way to the right, that should line up your nut and your bolt for you. Tighten it down with your fingers, then using a 3/32 inch wrench, we're going to come in and we're going to tighten that up until it just starts to get kind of snug, and then we're going to put our lock lever back over the top and put it on so as it's facing you, like I'm showing here, that the lever is at about between the 4 and 5 o'clock position. Okay. Now use your wrench to loosen that bolt up and turn that lever out here where we can get to the set screw on it. Use your Allen wrench to tighten that down until this little feature is pushed around and it's snug on top of that bolt. And then when you bring this around, you should start locking at about the 4 or 5 o'clock position. And now we've adjusted our lock so we don't change our point angle while we're sharpening, so it can't move. And at the same time, when you loosen this, now you can adjust your point angle again. And that should be all you need to replace your switch flag.